unpack Prince Harry's royal crisis. Titles, taxes, and total isolation. Prince Harry is in serious trouble. And this time, there's no palace wall to shield him, no velvet curtain to hide behind, no royal press team working overtime to soften the blow. Just Harry, stripped of status, stripped of protection, and standing squarely in the crosshairs of Parliament and the British tax office. The very institutions he turned his back on are now circling with precision, and the strikes are coming from every direction. It all starts with something more than symbolic. The UK Parliament has introduced an actual bill, not a rumor, not speculation, but a real piece of legislation aimed directly at Harry. If it passes, it would legally strip him of the title Duke of Sussex. And that title isn't just ceremonial. It's his brand. It's what opens Hollywood doors, gets executives on the phone, and lands multi-million-dollar contracts with Netflix and publishing houses. Without it, Harry is simply Harry, a man in California trying to survive in celebrity culture without the royal shine. But Parliament didn't stop there. In a rare and pointed moment, Harry's name was mentioned directly in debate. One member of Parliament declared that if you abandon duty, insult the monarchy, and then use your title as a golden key in Los Angeles, there must be consequences. And those consequences are coming quickly. As Parliament considers cutting off his title, HM Revenue and Customs has slammed Harry with a separate blow, an overdue tax bill worth nearly $800,000. And here's the catch. He was reportedly given just 3 days to pay it. Not 3 months, not by the end of the year. 3 days. If he fails, the UK has every right to seize assets, pursue legal action, and make his humiliation very, very public. For a man who once stood proudly on palace balconies in uniform, who flew helicopters in war zones, who married under the global spotlight, it's a steep and very public fall. But perhaps what's most shocking is not the fall itself, but how isolated he is as it all unfolds. Meghan Markle, silent. The palace, completely uninterested. Netflix, quietly stepping back. Even the public isn't sympathetic. Instead, hashtags like not a duke, pay your taxes, and Sussex scam are trending across social media. What once felt like rebellion now looks like entitlement. A prince who cashed in on royalty and now refuses to pay the bill. Behind the scenes, Harry's Archewell Foundation is under scrutiny too. Insiders whisper about questionable expenses and fading influence. One executive reportedly described the Sussex brand as radioactive. And in Hollywood, where stability rules and baggage gets you ghosted, that kind of reputation is as good as a death sentence. So where does that leave Harry? Standing at the edge of a cliff. Watching his title slip away, his finances unravel, and the country he left behind remind him that independence isn't free. It's costly. And through it all, Meghan's silence grows louder. For someone who built her image on podcast confessions and carefully curated vulnerability, her refusal to say anything now feels deliberate. Insiders claim she's strategically distancing herself from Harry's spiraling reputation, protecting her own brand as Spotify has already cut ties and the Netflix deal hangs by a thread. What's most brutal is how different this moment feels compared to their earlier battles. When they left the royal family, they were seen as disruptors, even heroes challenging an outdated system. But now, the sympathy is gone. The narrative has flipped. They're seen not as rebels, but as celebrities who cashed in on royalty and are now shocked that consequences have arrived. And it's not just public opinion. Lawmakers are saying it outright. One senior MP called Harry's use of his title while profiting abroad a mockery of public service. Another said plainly, if Harry wants to live as a private citizen, then he should be treated like one. No immunity, no privileges, just another man facing the consequences of his choices. Meanwhile, questions loom over Harry's finances. Life in Montecito doesn't come cheap. The mansion, the staff, the security. With the UK demanding close to $1 million in back taxes, whispers are growing that Harry may not even have the cash flow to cover it. Reports suggest Netflix is reconsidering future projects, while Archewell isn't generating enough to sustain their lifestyle. Some say the couple has been quietly shopping for new deals, desperate to keep their brand alive. But the institutions that once protected Harry are nowhere to be found. Buckingham Palace has drawn a line. King Charles won't intervene. Prince William won't take his calls. Palace lawyers have been instructed not to get involved. He wanted freedom, one aide allegedly remarked, Now he has it. And the public? Polls show over 70% of Brits support stripping Harry's title. Not out of hatred, but principle. To many, his choices don't look brave anymore. They look opportunistic. What makes this moment especially dangerous is that the tax bill may only be the beginning. HMRC is reportedly combing through Harry's UK earnings, charitable deductions, and Archewell's finances. If the numbers don't add up, that $800,000 debt could grow into something much larger. And in Hollywood, the consequences are already real. Industry insiders have paused or shelved Sussex projects, calling Harry too volatile. Donors have backed away, friends have gone quiet, and even sympathetic media outlets are pulling back. The illusion of control is gone. Without his title, Harry isn't a prince. He's just another celebrity caught in a storm. And the irony is brutal. He once fought to escape the shadow of royalty, but in chasing freedom, he clung to the very title he claimed to reject. Now that lifeline is slipping away. Social media isn't letting up either. Memes of eviction signs over Buckingham Palace, fake donation jars reading "Help Harry pay his taxes," viral edits replacing royal portraits with overdue bills. His downfall isn't private anymore. It's public entertainment. And Meghan? Still silent. Some believe she's waiting to see if the storm clears before making a move. Others think she's already pulling away, choosing brand survival over marriage optics. Either way, Harry is alone. Once a prince, now a liability, with no crown to shield him, no palace to protect him, and no allies to step in. For the first time in his life, Harry is facing something he's never had to before. True, unapologetic accountability. And this time, no crown can save him. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next update.